When you start a Facebook or other social media presence, it can often feel like you're back in junior high. You wonder if people will like you or dump on you. Well, a few federal agencies have used advertising to boost the number of fans and likes on their Facebook accounts. We wondered, is that a good strategy? Connie Deshpande is a consultant and writer who's helped federal agencies with their social media strategies, and she joins us now. Connie, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so State, Veterans Affairs, a few others have spent money, millions, on advertising on Facebook. Is that smart to do?
Well, I think, you have to dig a little bit deeper. What is advertising? I wrote an article on Information Week that responded to a headline that said that State Department was buying Facebook likes. That's sort of a slippery slope, and buying Facebook likes, implies that they went out and, just
handed out $5 bills.
Well, and usually it's robots. It's not a real live person when you buy Facebook likes. I mean, that's just something that is not common. So advertising, just as any other public affairs department or office within a department would do, social media is just part of the overall strategy in public relations. So I think it's important for your audience to realize that, social media is the internet was in the 90s. People were, suspect of it and kind of like, I don't know about it. Now, what would we do without it? I'm not saying social media is the end-all, be-all, but it's an important way to really engage, and that's the critical factor here. It's not about buying likes. It's about how are you engaging your target audience.
So the fact that, say, the White House has, 1.8 million likes or whatever it is nowadays, another department has 1 million or so, does that matter? I mean, is that a good metric?
That's a great question. And, holistically, if you look at likes, it's a good to get likes, but you want people talking about, if you look on a Facebook page, there's likes and then there's, how many people are talking about or engaging. That's what you want. Because, if you have 25,000, people on LinkedIn who you're, connected to, what does that mean at the end of the day when you're actually trying to engage with people, cultivate relationships? That sounds, like it's a hard thing to measure. It's actually a lot easier than, what people would think. And I actually applaud the State Department and the efforts made there. I think that what goes wrong is that, they try to do an approach that doesn't include key players. And so you want to educate people within the department about what the State Department's role is in overall social media and what does that mean to the individual employee at the State Department. Otherwise, you're going to get people who within are going to be, questioning it and feeling like, oh, I'm not involved, I'm not, I don't have a say-so in this, and then it's going to turn your own people against you. So you want to be, we're in a transparent society, and social media is just one indication of that.
We're speaking with Connie Deshpande. She is the president of C3, and that's an economically disadvantaged small women-owned business digital communication social media leadership outfit. You do a lot of things. And so often you look at a newspaper article, and there are thousands of comments on a controversial issue, but then when you dig deep, it's like the same 50 people arguing with each other, adding it all up. So could this advertising strategy be a way of making sure that you get more diversity, more greater number of individuals engaging rather than just heavy engagement by the same few?
Yes. Absolutely. I think that, you definitely want to, do your sort of research on, who is your target audience. So obviously with the federal government, there's a lot, having been a Fed myself, both a political and a careerist, it's very difficult, and there is differences obviously between, the federal world and the private sector. And so, social media moves pretty quickly, and by default, the government doesn't. So it's a difficult thing to do to get involved in social media. But if you look at a strategy, a policy, education, incorporating all of that, you're going to get diversity, because within people understand what is the larger goal. So then that's going to translate out. That's going to help your message, your mission. So it's something that, can't just be done overnight. And maybe that's where there was missteps at the Department of State. It sounded like things were, they were trying to take a real quick approach, and that's where, morale got a little bit lower, and people were questioning what was going on. But I just wanted to make sure that, again, as a former Fed, that your listeners understood that, it is the headlines that get people all, it sort of sets off, a lightning rod issue. They're buying Facebook likes. No, not really. They actually are unrolling a campaign, a larger, campaign on, how can we tell the world a little bit more about our mission and who is our target audience, and how can we cultivate relationships with that target audience.
Connie Deshpande is a social media marketing consultant and writer in Washington. And Connie, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure, thank you.